Two embattled leaders, one impeached, the other indicted. Pitching a Middle East plan critics say is more about politics than peace.
They say it's the toughest deal ever to make.
Israel's Benjamin Netanyahu, indicted for bribery and fraud, charges he's denied, trying to win another term in March after two failed elections last year. Today getting a big boost.
Mr. President, your deal of the century is the opportunity of the century.
Completely shut out the Palestinians. Protesting today in Gaza because the plan would give Israel more of their land. A future Palestinian state reduced to a patchwork connected by roads and tunnels. Israel would control all of Jerusalem with a future Palestinian capital on the outskirts of the city.
Well, obviously, a peace plan that has the acceptance of one party but not the other ultimately is not going to produce peace.
The president had already moved the U.S. embassy to Jerusalem, eliminated U.S. aid to Palestinian refugees, and endorsed Israel's claim to the Golan Heights. Now, as a sweetener to the Palestinians, he is offering billions in aid if they reject violence and recognize Israel. But tonight, the Palestinian president said, "We will not kneel and we will not surrender." Jordan also rejecting the plan as one-sided. But the White House is betting that the Palestinians have no cards left to play and sees this as good politics at home. Andrea Mitchell, NBC News.
Hey, NBC News fans, thanks for checking out our YouTube channel. Subscribe by clicking on that button down here and click on any of the videos over here to watch the latest interviews, show highlights, and digital exclusives. Thanks for watching.